Emerson Mnangagwa has been condemned for abuse of children at ZANU-PF rallies. I think I have a big problem in the country. We have a problem of people that are so reactionary, people that are so vindictive. We have a people that get crazy whenever they are under pressure, like what we are seeing with this 2030 Mafidi dynasty people. We are seeing them losing their mind. You see, the way that they are responding, the way they are behaving, the way they speak, the way they act, you can ask yourself whether these people are still fine up there in the skull, because the kind of behavior that they are doing, you won't even believe it. In fact, from the time that we came into 2017 and this pseudo Second Republic of Mnangagwa, we have started to see things that were not normal happening. We started to see this abuse of women, where women are supposed to be shaking their behind and the cars being bought for them. And we saw this becoming a very common thing, with a lot of these Mapostori women also coming there, people that are supposedly Christian, who are supposed to be, respectable, and who are mothers and some people's wives. They are going to ZANU-PF rallies, and then they turn their backs on people and start doing all that shaking. It really has taken away dignity from our nation. And we've been talking about the issue of morals, really. Morals have really been eroded under Emerson Mnangagwa like never, ever before in our country. And this continues to be a problem. You see, so when we see the abuse of people, you still remember the other time that Mnangagwa had to take money from his own jacket, and he had to give that old man who stood on his head and danced like that during some kind of rally. Mnangagwa was excited. He took money and gave that man, I think, was it $800 US dollars, which was all hundreds, which he took from his own pocket. And we were asking ourselves, okay, then what kind of reward system is that you can give the salary of 3 civil servants to just an old man who was dancing there? And I still remember the old man was putting on torn clothes and stuff like that. But you see, the things that amuse these people, Mnangagwa and his group, are things really at times that are not supposed to be amusing people. What gets them tick are things that are funny, and some things that people would look at and say, is this normal? You see, so this has been a problem that we continue to see. And now it seems like women will always want to be, dancing frantically at ZANU-PF rallies, so that maybe they can be observed by Wikno Chivayo and maybe called in for a car or something like that. And it's like now it's a competition of wanting to show off at those rallies, which is quite very sad and very unfortunate. This time around, we've seen again young children being abused and used at ZANU-PF rallies, where they are being taught and coached by, I don't know whether it's, I don't think that it's even their, I mean, parents who are doing that to their own children. You see, usually this is done by some people that are using other people's children to do this. I wish we would leave young children out of this dirty politics that we have in Zimbabwe, until and unless our politics becomes smart, because the politics we have in our country is very toxic and dangerous and dirty, and we wouldn't want to see young children being involved in there, especially ZANU-PF. They are so good at wanting to use young children, and they'll be singing praises of Mnangagwa, doing whatever poetry and whatever, and they are so happy when they see that happening. But at the end of the day, you find that with the kind of divisions that we see in ZANU-PF, what about if this child is attacked by some other group, especially with the anger that we are seeing happening around, where lives are being threatened, with the people like Comrade Geza being threatened with arrest, being threatened with being killed or attacked and stuff like that. I don't think it's safe to have young people, our youngsters, being robbed in these kind of struggles that we are seeing happening in ZANU-PF. But it's ZANU-PF that continue to do this kind of stuff, which is very disrespectful. And many people have really condemned what they have seen happening at one of the ZANU-PF rallies, where young boys were used to insult General Geza and stuff like that. And it seems those that gathered there, they really felt so good and they jumped to their feet and ululated and danced. But I don't think that will change anything. You see, the fact of the matter is that Mnangagwa's days are over. Mnangagwa has failed Zimbabwe and has failed Zimbabweans. Mnangagwa has been told to go, and that is not going to change. Even when you can bring the whole school of youngsters to sing praises of Mnangagwa and insult Comrade Geza, I don't see this changing the narrative. I don't see this changing the minds of the Zimbabwean people that, okay, now that young kids have said this, then it means that Mnangagwa all of a sudden has become a saint. No, he's not. Mnangagwa still remained that a monster that Comrade Geza said, that Korokoza that they brought when they removed Mugabe, and he does not change and he remains that. So this is the problem that we continue to see happening, and more it's happening. And I wonder whose children those are, whose parents allow their children to get into such dirty politics like the politics of ZANU-PF. So a lot of this is a thing that must be condemned. This is a thing that must be discouraged. We leave our young people out of this stuff. They are still too young to decide which group really they want to belong to. They don't understand as of now which is which, what is what, who is who, and who is right, who is wrong. So you rather leave young people to grow, and a time will come that they will need to choose which side they belong. Let me just play for you the video that has caused the condemnation of young people being used by ZANU-PF.
Unity, peace, and development. Thank you.
So I saw Owen Ngube there becoming very excited amongst other people that are excited there. But I don't see anything that is really very exciting there. Teaching our young children to start to speak words like pasi, naningi, something like that, which talks about somebody dying and stuff like that. I don't think that is fair. I wouldn't want my children to be doing such stuff. And it is very, very uncouth for ZANU-PF people. This is why we are saying this is their these are last kicks of a dying horse. These guys are not going anywhere. And very, very soon, they will have their faces dropped after they've realized that Mnangagwa is out and gone. And that time is going to be a time of pain. Pain is coming for those that are 2030s and Mafidi dinners. Watch the space. It's going to be happening sooner than later.